We are now in our second session of OC. We have already seen about the functions of top level management, middle level management, and bottom level management. We have seen who all compromise in these three levels. We have also seen the diagram. We have also seen the working of this three levels of management, and I also told you this is a particular question which is being asked every year in board exam. Either the levels of management are asked to you or the functions are asked to you, but anyhow whatever it compulsory comes from this part. Okay, so in your textbook very clearly it is given the differences between the top level, middle, and the bottom level management. What you have to do is you have to read, because whatever we have seen, the compromisations of these three levels of management and the functions, only these things are just categorized into different levels of management. Okay, so kindly read to it and understand differences. Now the next is about classification functions of management. Now there are different writers and they have different ways of classifying these functions of management. Coons O'Donnell says that the management steps, the functions of management should be first planning, then organizing, then staffing, directing, and then control. Henry Fayol says that it should be planning, organizing, direction, coordination, and then controlling. Henry Fayol has ignored the staffing part. Then we have Peter Drucker, who says that business has to be managed, managers has to be managed, and managing workers, men, and work. Okay, so he has a very different concept. Apart from all these writers, so it's a managing business, managing the managers, and managing the workers, men, and the work. Then Luther Gulick says that functions of management should be planning, organizing, staffing, directing, coordination, reporting, and then budgeting. So these are the steps which we usually follow in functions of management. Then is about George Terry. George Terry says that planning should be done, organizing, directing, and controlling has to be done. He has also ignored the staffing part. Okay, so different writers, they have come with different way of presenting their functions of management. It is completely your choice of running the business according to the functions of management. But you must have seen that planning, organizing, directing, and controlling is almost there in all the whatever the writers have said. Apart from this, that is Peter Drucker, what he has said. Now, the next part is about how this planning, what does it mean, why we say planning. Like it is said that whatever we plan is what we want in future. Okay, so even God cannot change the past, but at least men can change the future. That is a statement that is given in planning, that whatever must have happened, that nobody can change, but for surely men can change the future by what? By planning. Okay, so management is a function that begins with planning, and it is only a forecast that how the things has to be done. Once the planning is done, then the work can be done systematically. Therefore it is a very important function of management. The second one is about organizing. Organizing means it is a structure. In a business there is a structure which needs to be organized, and it has to be categorized into different giving them the authorities and responsibilities. Okay, so it is a distribution of organization is what? It is a distribution of authority and the responsibility of people with different sections forming the organization structure. So that is about uh, organization, and it is said that planning is the brain and organizing is the physical structure. Planning is a brain. Why? Because here the thinking process does, and organizing is actually the physical structure where how different departments are divided. Then the next point is about staffing. Staffing means that we are talking about the employees. Now, employees are the, it is said here, employees are the arms and legs of the unit. So, they are the people, if they are very important people, if they are not there, then it becomes very difficult to function. So, it is a duty of the this management, staffing management, that to put the right person at a right place in a right number. Okay, so and after that, if after selecting the employees, if they are needed training, they should be sent to training. If their work is very good, then they should be promoted or given transfer at a good place. And if they do not work properly, dismissal is also there. And as they work for so many years in our organization, then after retirement also they should have certain facilities and all those things for the welfare activities of the employees is what is completely seen in staffing. So it's a very important, you can say it's a staffing means the employees are the invaluable asset of the company. Now the next function of management is direction. Now in direction means, the word itself tells you that it means that it guides, it supervises the employees so that the objectives can be achieved. So in that, when the direction is given, it is like when the planning is done, why it is done? So that the objective that is there, that can be achieved. And what happens when an organization is formed with an ideal structure? The raw materials is being purchased properly, the employees are being appointed properly, then the only thing that is left out is proper direction. If everything is proper and this direction is not given properly, then whatever we have done earlier in planning, organizing and staffing becomes complete waste. Therefore, direction is to be uh, handled very properly. And direction doesn't mean that it is only order, it is a type of instruction, and a person who has leadership quality can do this direction work very easily. The next point is about controlling, which is considered to be the last function of management. Now, controlling, what is this controlling? When we do this planning, organizing, staffing, directing, automatically what happens here? The controlling process takes place, because there will be no wastage of any raw materials, there will be no misuse of any say electricity, or the employees will not remain idle, because everything will be under the control management. So it is a very positive concept in the modern time, and it is only a corrective activity that is there. Okay, it is not to restrict any activities the employees do. Okay, so that the decision is being taken in a right way. That is why this controlling is being done. So it is only to correct the mistakes and not to be repeated in the future. That is the work of the control in the function of management. The next point is about coordination, which Henry Fayol says, and Luther Gulick also says about coordination. Now, this coordination is what? It is to bring harmony between different functions of management. Whatever function of management we are doing, we need to coordinate all these functions of management. And because of that, what happens? No, when this coordination is there, what happens? The work is not incomplete. There will be no duplication of any work, means nobody is doing double the same work. That will not happen if there is coordination in the management. Now the characteristics that is there. Planning, organizing, staffing, directing, controlling and organizing. Now in coordination there is a characteristics which is being elaborated and explained to you. This is how it is to bring coordination and harmony among different departments by their different function is called coordination. So that is what I said, there should be no duplication. There will be no duplication if this coordination between different departments and in their work if it is. Now the characteristics. The first thing says that it is required from first to last. So you cannot say that coordination is only in the end. No. From the beginning till the work, all the activities from the planning till the last function of management, that is controlling, till then every time coordination has to be done, and there no work will be possible if there is no coordination. Second point says that it is required at every level of management. Which level we are talking about? We are talking about top level, middle level, bottom level. So in every level this coordination is there. Coordination in top level between all the top officers, that coordination should be there, otherwise there will be always a clash. In middle level also, all the department officers, they should have a coordination. So what happens that in production, sales department, finance department, if this coordination is there, then they will be able to work properly, and they will be in peace, and the business will also not incur loss. Success depends on effective communication. Okay, so that is what is said here, that whatever communication is done in coordination, what happens that you need to discuss with the officers who are there in your same level. Okay, and this communication, if it is not effective, means if you are not using proper language, if you are, then the same will not be communicated to them, and if it is not communicated, then the success, that is to achieve the objective, will not be happen. Coordination with cooperation. See, two different words, coordination and cooperation. What is coordination? As I told you, that it means that all the officers, those who are there from top to all has to cooperate with coordinate their work with each other. When I say cooperation, it is about different employees. Okay, so there should be a cooperation with the cooperation of these employees for the different activities they are doing. So if their cooperation is there, then automatically coordination among various activities in the organization will also be there. Optimum utilization of businesses. So this point comes every time, optimum utilization. That means that maximum use of the resources is possible when coordination is there, because you are always checking whether this is not left out, that is not left out. So you are using all the resources here. Soul of management. So as we say, why it is called soul of management? Why? Because it is used in every function of management. In planning also coordination has to be there, in organization also, okay, in direction also, in controlling also, staffing also. In all these, coordination should be there, plus it is also there in every level of management also. So what happens, coordination is everywhere, so it becomes the soul of management. The next point is about importance of coordination. Now, why it is important, this coordination? Management functions become effective. Effective means it works. Okay, when you are saying that whatever management functions that we are thinking to do so that the objective has been achieved, then what happens that this becomes effective. Yes, it works. Second point says all business activities also become easier. So whatever activities we want to do, that is only possible because of this coordination. There is no incomplete work and there is no duplicate. That is what I have told in beginning also. What happens in importance of coordination? When coordination is there, no work is incomplete, and no duplication of work means no double work is being done by one single person. It maintains harmony and peace. When coordination is there, what happens that you share your work related problems with your officers. They know about it, and what happens then, there will be no clashes. Okay, so there is always peace and harmony in the business because you are continuously in contact with the officers. Balance between order and time of business activities performed by various departments. Now what happens here, this coordination helps to put a balance, to maintain a balance between the order and the time of business. What is this between order and time of business activities? Now every departments have their own work that has to be done, and they have their own time, and they have work related with different activities. Now what happens here is that these different departments, they all have the same timings that they put in the business. So what happens when you are coordinating with different departments, then you know that how much order is there in your business, and means whatever you have to do, and within what time you have to finish your work. So this helps you to make a balance between whatever the order is there and the time of the business. The next point is accomplishment of objective. In last, what happens that this coordination leads to the accomplishment of objectives. So they are able to lead your accomplishments. You are able to achieve your objectives in the end. That is why it is important. Coordination is important. Now, the functional areas of management. We have here different functions of management. Functional areas of management. So, in which all places, so we have here 4. In which all places this management is there. We have all management courses also related to all this. So we have this marketing management here, human resource management, financial management, and production management. These are the areas of management. Okay, so we'll see the working of management. Okay, so functions of marketing management is the first one. How it works. So it talks about the product mix. Okay, now product means is what that you are trying to develop a product. Okay, in marketing management what happens, you are trying to develop a product with changing its color, size, shape or weight, anything. Okay, so that is about product mix. So you are taking decision so that you can change the product the way it appears in the market. So that decision can be taken by the marketing management. Then is the next one is about the price. So here in this, the marketing management can take a decision to what the customers wants, like. Okay, so they take the while when the price is decided, they also see to it the decision whether the it reaches to the customer at a reasonable rate. So here the price decision includes the sales policy also. They have to see the credit policy also. They need to see the policy of discount, then the wholesale and the retail price also, sorry, wholesale and the retail sale also, and also the commission if they have to give to the middle person. All this has to be considered while they decide the price of the product. The next one is about distribution mix. So in this distribution, various ways of selling are there. Either you directly sell the product, or through the wholesaler you sell, or you sell it to the retailer agencies. Or so the problem is related to the transportation also. So distribution mix is what it is related to the size and how big the business unit is. According to that, the decision is taken. The next one is promotion. So in this promotion, uh, the main objective is that there should be a remarkable increase in sale. Okay, maximum sale has to be done. That is why this promotion part is done. So in this, they do advertisement, they do publicity, they appoint salesmen so that they can go door to door. They see ways so that customers can be attracted to it. Okay, so promotion mix is though expensive, but ultimately it leads to increase in sales. Therefore, it leads into higher profit also. So these are the functions of marketing, management, product mix, price, distribution, and promotion. The next one is about characteristics of human resource management. The first point includes in human resource. When we say it, it is about the employees we are talking about. So human resource management sees to it that the selection process is done properly. Okay, looking into the qualifications and putting them at the right place. Then after the selection is done, they see to it that the training is given properly. Okay, if the work is very good, then the promotion has to be given. And after all this, proper direction also should be given to the employees. Next point is about accomplishment of business objectives, integrating the individual object. Now what does this mean? Yes, we definitely have to achieve the business objectives, but the individual objective also has to be achieved. What is this individual objectives? What an employee wants when a employee joins a business. Does he only see to it that only profit has to be earned? No, he will also see that his own growth is also being done. Today if he is earning 50,000, then for next year he wants some increment. Okay, so he wants some promotion. So not only business objective has to be achieved, but also individual objective should be achieved. That is what is human resource management doing. Then it recognizes employees as a very valuable asset of the business. Therefore it takes utmost care of the employees. It develops personnel for job by training. So if they have no proper training, then they send these employees for training. It evaluates the personnel and puts in right place. Now these employees are evaluated, so they are given certain grades also, they are given certain marking also, and on these grades and markings what happens, they get increment. So according to that increment, either they might get any transfer or they might get any promotion. So that is also been done by the human resource management. Labor turnover rate is reduced. Now when human resource management is done very smoothly and uh, very in a very good manner, then this labor turnover rate, what is this labor turnover rate? We did it in 11th standard also. Labor turnover rate is the employees do not, labor turnover means they leave and go. Okay, so when this labor turnover is reduced, they do not leave the business and they go. So that is also reduced. Labor turnover is reduced because they will not leave the business unit if they are taken proper care. The next is boost enthusiasm and efficiency. So it is the work of the human resource management also to boost the employees, whatever motive to motivate them. Okay, that is the work of the human resource management. Importance of human resource management. Why it is important? We already saw the characteristics, and similar type of it has importance also. So importance of human resource management, their efficiency increases. Okay, so if the efficiency increases, because they are also taken care, so efficiency increases, they are sent to training and all those things, so their efficiency increases. Profitability also increase when the management is so good. If the efficiency increases, the sales also increases and the profit also increases in the business. Then the reputation is maintained. Okay, whenever you must have heard about saying like the reputation of the, no, like in any business unit, if you say that if any person is being removed from the business, or the person leaves the unit, and if we ask them that why you are leaving, and the management is not proper, we have no this thing working in the unit. So when these keeps on going, what happens to the reputation? The reputation is also harmed. But if the management is very good, what happens? Automatically the prestige of the company also increases. Quality of goods are maintained. Now what happens? That the human resource management, if they are looked after well, then the quality of the goods and services are also raised. Oneness among employees is maintained. Now unity among the employees, because there is no such races that keeps on going to a good management will never see to it that the competition is in such a way which will defeat another employee. Okay, it will always see to it that the unity remains among the employees. Maximum utilization of the factor of production is possible. What is the factor of production? Land, labor, capital, and all those. So with human resource management, all the factor of production is being possible by human resource management. Next is labor turnover rate is reduced. Okay, so as we saw in characteristics also, that no laborers leave the job and go. Then there is job satisfaction, that is when you are working in a very good atmosphere, good management, you do not want to leave the job. Then what happens? That you feel within yourself that you are satisfied with your job. Industrial peace is gained. So what happens when in the human resources, when there is job satisfaction, then finally it turns out to be an environment where there is industrial peace. So that is about the importance. The next one is about the functions of financial management. Now financial management, as you know, that it would be all about the money part. Okay, that part is managed here. So it estimates the financial needs that are there in the business. Which needs we are talking about in different departments, whatever they need about the money. So those who need the money from there, they will ask from this financial management to give, to make financial plans from the point of view of the time duration. So they are asking here to make financial plans, like any plan, like if you are taking debentures, you need to or if you are taking any loan, then a time has to be fixed that within this time I should have this much money so that I can give it back at the maturity period. So all this financial plan, keeping in mind the time duration, also has to be considered. To prepare budget, now these financial management, they should have a budget of different departments also, so that they can provide the money. So they prepare a budget as to how much funds will be given in different departments which will be used in the unit. Apart from that, they should also have certain funds which they need to do for the expansion of their business. Now to allocate the funds, once this fund is been created, now the work is that they have to now start distributing wherever it is needed in the business. Next is to decide the capital structure and the sources to bring capital. Now financial management also have to prepare one capital structure, and as you know that you have learned in accounts also, capital structure either owner brings, either it is from the friends and relatives, either from the debentures, or either from loan. So this structure has to be prepared, and from this structure how this money comes, that has to be sorted out. Then the procedure for acquiring finance. So how we are going to get finance rather than this capital structure that we have prepared, and that has to be decided, and should be utilized after you acquire them. It should be utilized also properly, and control has to be kept in all financial activities. Control over acquired funds and they are utilized properly. So same thing that I told just now, that there should be a control on whatever you have acquired this finance, and how they should be used in future. After you have collected, then how it should be used, that also should be controlled. Next is to form financial policy. Now what is this financial policy? How the money has to be used. Okay, a policy is being created to use this money. Okay, and it also decides about the debentures that is being taken, about the loans that has been taken, about the creditors who has to be paid all those time. Okay, so that financial policy is being decided here. To plan for taxes is the next point. In taxes, all that money also, whatever you earn the profit, so you need to pay the taxes, so that also will be decided and planned by the financial man. Like we know that we make a profit of say 2 crore every year, then with that slab you need to calculate the tax amount and keep it aside. The next point is arrangement of assets. So here in financial management, all the assets that are there, whatever needs to be purchased, or in future if it is needed, that also has to be purchased by this financial management. So this is about the functions of financial management. The next one is about functions of production management. Now in production management, we know that the process of all the raw materials, and then the product is being prepared here in this. Okay, so the production is also very important management, where the raw materials are converted into consumable finished goods with the help of the employees. So here how the working is being done, that is been, so in this the production planning is there, decision programs are there, coordination is there, direction is there, and control is also there. So the first point says it decides production plan. So per day how much production has to be done, that has been decided, not over, not even less. So that has been decided here. Second point is it undertakes production research. Like you see that any product does not last with the same way as it was say 10-20 years back. It has to have some innovation in the product. So that is also done here in the production management by doing production research. The next point is about product development and product mix. So in this product development, as we saw in product mix, what is done, whatever the existing product is there, we do make certain changes like the shape of the product, the size, the packing, the appearance from outside, all that is being changed. Select technology and machinery. So here in this what suppose the production is too say takes time consuming, and there is any machine that is available in the market which can give faster production, then they need to select that machinery. So that also production management has to do. Next is takes decision regarding selection of location and layout. So in this production management, they have to take a decision where the decision of in which place the production has to be done, and inside that also a layout is being prepared by this production management, looking into the say ventilation, looking into the comfort of the employees. To estimate estimation of materials and other needs of production. So in this the production management has to make certain assumption of the materials that are there, and what all things are needed for production. For that also one estimation has to be taken out, and should be given to the financial management. Next point is production and quality control. So here what happens, because of production management, the production will never be excess or never run scarce in the market. Okay, that is the smartness of this production management, that it will not have excess production, plus it will not have scarce of product. If it is excess production, what will happen, the production might be outdated, and then all this production that is being done maybe have to sell in half the price. And if it is scarce, then what happens, the demand of our product may be captured by the competitor. Okay, and quality control. So production management is there, so quality is also controlled. Next point is control cost and increase productivity. Now what happens that uh, when you buy raw materials at a in a bulk, in a larger quantity, then your cost decreases, and when you have more of raw materials in your hand, then your productivity can also increase. Introduce simplification and variation in production. So increase simplification, whatever the procedure is there, they see to it that it is in the simpler form, and there are many variations in the production, like it has to go to this process, then another process. So it is a work of the production management that it has to introduce in a very simple, and whatever variation is there in the production, it should introduce in a simpler manner. So here we complete the chapter, that is lesson number 1 we complete here. We have seen all the functions of management, also the levels of management also. Okay, so I'll see you in the next session with the second lesson. Thank you.